Quebec, with Investment Quebec, are very positive, very supportive. They actually got us a plant location near rail and near a port. They have already allocated power for our facility, and we already initiated a program with them. But I think the primary focus is going to be strictly exploration, and usually drill results will be a steady flow, and I think there's something significant there.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Frank Bassa. He is the CEO of Koniangus Battery Metals. And Frank, it's great to see you again. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful, Stephen, as well. I hope you're well.
Yes, I'm doing very well. Thanks very much. And excited to talk to you a little bit about what's going on within the company and more importantly, your Groll property. And so just before we get to sort of what's ahead, maybe remind everyone a little bit about Groll. There's been a lot of work done on that project, Frank.
Yeah, Groll was actually one of those properties or companies which we kind of had in one of our companies. And normally what we do, we use the host company as an incubator. So we spent about $6 million, about 16,000 meters of drilling, and lo and behold, we found a very large structure. And we have some very high copper and nickel, and there's some cobalt, there's also some platinum group elements. But the numbers were so exciting, we said, okay, it's ready to get spun out. So it's actually a spin out from our other company called Nord, and then the shareholders of Nord, of course, got a dividend. We've done this before, and normally we distribute these dividends over a 3-year time frame, and they do quite well. So it's usually a share and a warrant, and we have a bit of a history of making these things increase in value. So as a spin out, we decided to look at two things when we did the spin out. One of the things we initiated earlier on, because it takes a very long time to do it, is what we call the feed first principle. So the feed first principle means that we were offered a lot of product from all over the world to process. We have a process called Re2Ox, which was developed over a 6-year time frame. And we spent about $8 million on it. It went from bench scale to pilot plants and plant scale testing. And we used it to produce actually cobalt sulfate for the battery market on spec. So we initiated that first, knowing full well getting permits and all these things take much more time. But really, what we are is an exploration company. So now we put out a news release to that effect. And we kind of look at all the data that we had, historical and the one we did. And now we think, you know what? It's time to initiate a drill program in a very small area of a very large structure. So we're going to see what we're going to get there. And if people go visit our website, and they'll see there is a side view, so to speak. And the reason it's called Groll, the target we're trying to hit is shaped like a grail or holy grail. And that might be a massive, very thick, and the area is known for that, massive, very thick sulfide structure. So we've been just drilling on the outside, on the outskirts, and you'll notice some pretty crazy high numbers for our initial drill program. So we're looking at starting somewhere this summer, fall, and normally we like to drill through the winter, and that avoids, especially where we are, we've had a lot of problems with fires in the summers. So what we do is when we start in the fall into the winter, the chance of having a fire is very, very low, and the ground conditions, we don't damage the ground as much. So it's an ideal time for us to drill. We've always been known for drilling through the winter, and then of course we produce a lot of results, and then we have a steady feed of results. So if you look at the news release we just put out, you'll notice we have some very good numbers. We didn't put all the drill holes in there because we'll crowd out the map, but we highlighted the critical drill holes. A lot of them are way over 1%, and a lot of them are 20 meters plus. So the potential is probably a very big deposit, a high grade. It'll be probably more than likely a copper, nickel. Like I said, there's some cobalt. There's also some other metals in it, and of course, we have some platinum group elements exceeding at 1.5 to 2 grams per ton.
Yeah. So Frank, you've engaged Laurentian Exploration to be a part of this. So as you mentioned, the drilling's going to happen. So are you going to do some more work around the drilling as well, or is it focused mainly on the drilling? Do you feel comfortable with the sort of the work you've done?
We'll focus strictly on the drilling. Like I said, we're an exploration program, but the other stuff, the feed first concept, more than likely we'll put it into a private company. We're looking at putting a group of people together. That has been offered us. We've been offered an unbelievable amount of feed that we can process in Quebec. Quebec, with Investment Quebec, are very positive, very supportive. They actually got us a plant location near rail and near a port. They have already allocated power for our facility, and we already initiated a program with them. But I think the primary focus is going to be strictly exploration, and usually drill results will be a steady flow, and I think there's something significant there.
Yeah, and lastly, Frank, in the news release, you talk about the clean energy transition and what you're targeting here, as far as you mentioned, nickel, cobalt, platinum, the other stuff as well, really sort of fits into what the narrative is right now in the electrification around the world.
Yes, actually, there's a critical need. I know a lot of the markets will be slumping. If you look at, even cobalt has slumped, and lithium has slumped, and they feel there's too much nickel. But in reality, if you take the long view, you'll find out there'll never be enough of cobalt, there'll never be enough of nickel, and there'll never be enough of copper. To achieve the targets that all the governments globally are trying to set, it'll be a challenge to meet them.
Absolutely. Frank, thanks so much. Good update, and we look forward to hearing more about the drilling when the time is right. Okay?
Thank you, Steve. Have a good day.
You as well, my friend. Frank Bassa, the CEO of Connie Angus Battery Metals.